This podcast is presented by Win City Sports.
What up? Welcome back to Cedric's Combat Corner number 43. I am your host, Cedric Ben. Today on the Triple C's podcast, we'll be going over the 140-pound super lightweight classic from last Saturday. And when I say classic, I really mean classic. This was one of the most entertaining, exciting fights I have ever witnessed in all my years of watching and competing in boxing. Definitely one of the most entertaining fights. This fight between Jose Zepeda and Ivan the Beast Barranchik, definitely up there with one of the most, top 10 exciting fights of all time. 100%. All right, let's get into the details. Starting with a quick preview of each fighter. Starting with Ivan the Beast Barranchik. He is from Belarus. Turned professional in 2014. He has a current record of 20 wins, 2 losses with 13 KOs. He had his toughest opponent to date was the current champion, Josh Taylor. He lost a unanimous decision to him last year. And Barranchik's style, his nickname is the Beast, and his fighting style, best way I describe it, I call it the seek and destroy. Now this is different. I wouldn't consider him a brawler. He's not a brawler because he stays in his boxing stance and he does come forward, in his stance. But once he gets within jab distance or just within punching range, it's all power and trying to finish you off from there. The seek and destroy. He's not just a wild brawler that just comes forward, gets out of his boxing stance and just swings. He's actually a technical guy. But like I said, once he is within that range, it's all power. In order to beat him, you can't just be a good technical boxer. You need to be a good technical boxer with some power behind those skills, or else Barranchik's just gonna run you over. And that's what he attempted to do against Jose Zepeda. Zepeda turned professional in 2009. His record is 33 wins, 2 losses with 26 KOs. So definitely a power puncher. He had a close fight with another current champion, Ramirez. He lost a majority decision to Ramirez. But he has a big win against Jose Pedraza. You might be familiar with that name, a common opponent with Gervonta Davis. And Pedraza also went 12 rounds with Lomachenko. So to show you the skills that he has. And Zepeda beat him. Zepeda's style, he's more of a technical boxer that looks to finish you off, though. Because you see him fight, nice southpaw. You see he's looking to use his skills. But obviously with 26 KOs out of his 33 fights, he's obviously looking to finish you off, too, if he gets the chance. So he's one of those guys that satisfies both fans, I guess you could say, the casual fan who's just looking for a street fight. He can finish a guy off like that. Or he also satisfies the hardcore fans with his good technical skills. Now, to the fight. As I said before, this is definitely one of the most entertaining fights I've ever witnessed. There was 8 KOs, 8 knockdowns in 5 rounds. 8 knockdowns in 5 rounds. Each guy went down 4 times. The last one was the most serious one, but starting in the first round. The start of this match was not looking good for Zepeda as he got dropped twice in the first round. The Beast, Barranchik, he came forward. He did not waste any time. I think as soon as the bell rang, within the first 5 seconds, he threw like a power combination, not wasting any time. The 2 punches that Zepeda got dropped with, it was in the middle of the round. It was in the middle of an exchange. It wasn't even clear what punch he got hit with. It was just they were both in the middle of exchanging, and then Zepeda went down to one knee, got up, and then kept fighting. The thing is, he still looked good, even though he got in between him getting dropped twice in that first round. He was still boxing well, besides those 2 knockdowns. Second round comes out, and they both got dropped. Zepeda dropped the Beast with a combination coming forward, and then it was literally about 15 seconds later, the Beast dropped Zepeda with a nice right hand as Zepeda was trying to come finish him off. That's what happens sometimes. Zepeda, when Zepeda dropped the Beast in the early part of the round, he was coming forward trying to finish him off, but in that process left himself a little bit open, and so the Beast dropped him. Of course, Timothy Bradley was going crazy. The commentators were going crazy as it was an exciting match. And even with that one, both of them got knocked down. I think Zepeda still boxed well enough to finish the round. Now, this is the tricky thing. I wasn't sure how to score that, because the first round, you get knocked down once, it's 10-8. You get knocked down twice, it's 10-7. So that first round was 10-7 for the Beast. The second round, when both guys get knocked down, I'm not sure if it should be 9-9 or 10-10. I guess 9-9 since both guys knocked down. Or you can, at the end of the day, it's what you feel. Even if the guy gets knocked down, if he comes back and still does good after, you can still make it 10-9 for whoever it was, for the guy that got knocked down. I scored it 9-9 just because I felt it was still even. I could see how people could have it 10-9 for Zepeda, because he did box well after the knockdowns of each opponent, of each guy. But I scored that 9-9. Third round, Barranchik gets dropped again. These are all like what you would consider flash knockdowns. At no point, well, I guess Barranchik was a little bit visibly hurt, but not like both guys. Out of the 8 knockdowns, out of the 7 knockdowns, at no point did I feel like one guy was in trouble, like about to get finished off. So that's what made it exciting, because they were both coming back. As soon as one person got dropped, the other person came back like immediately after. Fourth round. The fourth round was very close, and I was not sure who I was gonna score that round for. I'm sitting there watching it, and it was back and forth. Barranchik with his, as I said before, the seek and destroy style. He is very aggressive, but it's not always effective aggression. You understand what I mean? It's not always effective aggression. Zepeda was not throwing as much, but his punches were more cleaner and more crisp. This kind of reminded me of like Maidana versus Floyd. Maidana being Barranchik, and obviously Zepeda's not on Floyd's level, but just the fighting style. I said Barranchik was definitely the more aggressive person, but Zepeda was definitely more accurate with his shots. Especially in the fourth and fifth round, Zepeda's simple 1-2. It's such a simple, it's not exciting or a flashy move that's gonna get the crowd excited. Just simple 1-2 right down the middle. That was slowing down, not stopping the Beast, Barranchik, but it was slowing him down. That 1-2 right down the middle from Zepeda. So yeah, that fourth round I thought was pretty close, back and forth until Zepeda dropped the Beast at the end of that round, which made it a 10-8 round for him. Going into the fifth round with all these knockdowns, up until this point there was 6 knockdowns in the 4 rounds. So going into this round, of course, not sure what was going to happen. And these are exciting fights where you're not sure what's going to happen. It's an even fight between two different style of boxers. This is what makes boxing exciting. So another close round, that fifth round. The Beast, around the middle of the round, the Beast came forward with a strong combination and landed an overhand right as Zepeda was trying to back up. He caught him on his way back. The corner of the ropes is what kept him up, because he didn't actually fall to the ground, but the ropes is what kept him up. So that's why the referee called it an 8 count. Once again, Zepeda didn't look wobbly or that hurt. Took that 8 count, and then literally 10 seconds later came back with a 1-shot straight left KO on the Beast. And he did not move off the floor for about 5 minutes. That is what you call a straight knockout. See, it's one thing to have a TKO where, someone throws a flurry of punches and the person's not really defending themselves properly, so the referee has to come in to save them, or the corner could also throw in the towel. But to have a straight one-punch KO knockout where, your opponent's body just straight goes limp to the ground and is not moving, that's a whole different type of ball game with power, accuracy. I already mentioned before how I already thought this is definitely one of the most entertaining, exciting fights that I've ever witnessed in all my years of watching boxing. More specifically, I definitely think that this is tied for first place for knockout of the year. Tied for first place with Povetkin's KO over Dylan White a couple of weeks ago. Same thing. He came with a left uppercut that looked like it was a hook, but he threw a left uppercut disguising it as a hook. Anyways, same result. Lights out, not moving for a couple minutes on the ground. Yeah, those are the memorable ones. Okay, now I just want to give a brief analysis, individual analysis of each fighter, just to give a quick educated opinion or some educated suggestions on how each fighter can improve for their next match. Starting first with the beast, Barranchik. Strengths and weaknesses. His strengths are his conditioning and his volume of punches. That seek and destroy style. Conditioning and volume. That's the number one thing for that style. Weakness, accuracy, and defense. Those are the two things that I would suggest that he works on in the next couple of months before he has his next match. Don't lose focus. Don't lose the conditioning and volume, because that's what got you this far. But to clean up the accuracy and the defense. The judges give you points for effective aggressiveness. Barranchik he's very good at the aggressive part, but it's not always effective because he's not always accurate with his punches. Shout out to Zepeda with the good defense too. So Barranchik, accuracy and defense. There's two drills, plenty of drills, but there's two drills that you can use to help specifically work on these things. The first one on the heavy bag, and this is a old school trick. Some new school coaches don't use it though, but just simply putting taking a piece of tape and putting a few X marks on the bag, just some random spots, not too many, maybe just about 5 or 6 different spots on the bag, represent, around the chin area or rib body shot area. And then as the coach, you push the bag, not too crazy, but move the bag around just to simulate a person moving around. And the boxer has to land punches only on the X spots, not just any random spot. So accuracy on a moving target. That's what that helps with. So putting a few X pieces of tape, X marks on the bag. The coach is just kind of moving the bag around a little bit, and you have to land only on those X marks. 3 minutes. I got to make a YouTube video for that one to demonstrate that one. This next one, it's already on my YouTube page, and I just posted it to Twitter. It's a hand pad drill to help specifically with accuracy, angles, defense, and footwork. It's kind of hard to explain. Just watch the videos. I call it reaction punches, where I just simply, with my boxers, just put your hand up. You're not telling them what you're doing. You're not doing any specific pattern. It's just one punch. Whatever angle I put my hand up, whether it's straight or uppercut or hook, you have to hurry up and get to it, but not by sacrificing technique. You never want to sacrifice your technique for speed. So I say, get to it as fast as you can with proper technique, not just as fast as you can. All right? I call that reaction punches. Check that out on my Twitter. I posted it on my Twitter just a couple of minutes ago, and it's on my YouTube page under Boxing Education Playlist. So if Barranchik can improve those two things and build himself back up with another couple of good wins, he could have another shot at the title, whether it's against Josh Taylor or Jose Ramirez. And now for the winner, Jose Zepeda. His strengths are his high level of boxing skills and his accuracy. Them 4 times that he dropped Barranchik, they were all perfectly accurate punches right on the chin. He even mixed it up by ducking under and counter punching with after making Barranchik miss. So his skills, keep them skills up, keep that accuracy up. Now his weaknesses, you get knocked down 4 times in 5 rounds, definitely need to improve that defense. Keeping that chin tucked in close to your shoulders when you're throwing your straight punches and the hooks too. Using your shoulder to protect your chin when you're throwing the hooks. Using your shoulder to protect your chin when you're throwing straight punches. I say that specifically because the times that he got dropped was from when both of them were exchanging at the same time. It wasn't just Barranchik, both of them standing there and Barranchik just threw something random. Anytime Zepeda got dropped, it was from in the middle of an exchange. So 2 ways to help improve your defense while you're in an exchange, going back to the heavy bag and pad work again. So first on the heavy bag, the boxer's just hitting the bag regularly. Again, it doesn't matter what you throw, whether it's a specific pattern or just single punches. And the coach can take one of those sticks, not an actual hard stick, but we have a stick at the gym. It's a hockey stick, but we padded it up, and there's a glove at the end of the stick. So we use it to make the person block. You can also use it for slipping, but specifically in this situation, throwing punches on the bag, a combination of punches and the coach, or just the other partner if you guys are working together, not hard, but swing the stick at the person to make sure they keep your hands up in the middle of them throwing. That's the thing. It's very hard to simulate real life situations in practice, so you have to do your best. So when I say, swing the stick at the person, I don't just mean at a specific time. It has to be random, like while they're throwing. That's how you know how improved your reflexes are, when it's just random, not I'm going to tell you when I'm throwing at you. So try that on the bag. And it's basically the same thing if the coach, when you're holding pads for your guy, let them, again, whether it's a specific pattern, actually no, not a pattern, just do the reaction punches where you just put your hand up and they have to hurry up and get to it, and without telling them, swing back at them with the pad. Whether it's the hooks, uppercuts, or straight punches, don't tell them when it's coming. Obviously start out with novice boxers, start out slowly, like don't just counter punch at 100 miles an hour. Depending on the experience of the person that you're working with. So for the champion, Zepeda, his options are wide open. He can try to unify with, Josh Taylor or Jose Ramirez. Also, there's some up-and-comers at that 140 division that are looking to peek their head at a title shot soon, whether it's Boots Ennis. I know Regis Progress has a fight on October 31st, but he'd be a good opponent for one of these guys. So yeah, options are wide open for Zepeda. Yeah, and there you have it. Thank you very much for listening. Greatly appreciated. Triple C's podcast. Stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed. The next couple of weeks, we got some big fights coming up, starting with the 17th. Lopez versus Loma, or I should say Loma versus Lopez. So I guess Loma would be the A side. Vasily versus Teofimo. Everyone's waiting for this. I'm hearing a lot of people predicting the fall of the great one, Lomachenko. So very interesting to see what's gonna happen. I'm going with Lomachenko still. Hard for me to bet against those skills. But if there is a live dog out there, Lopez is that live dog that can pull off the big victory. So very excited to see that one. Hit me up at any social media at Cedric Sports, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, all of that. All right, man. Peace. Shout out to Win City Sports.
1, 2, 3, smack that thumbs up for this video. Smack